Welcome to another episode of The Marathon. My name's Mare, and in today's video, there is a lot of questions from you about dating. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name's Mare. Welcome to my little piece of the internet. I'd love for you to join us. I upload videos Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And today I'm going to be doing a dating Q&A. And spoiler, I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being 2 videos because there are so many questions. I asked you on Instagram and on a video that I posted last month about how to date a widow, and also in the Marathoner Facebook group, and there's a lot of questions, and honestly you didn't even ask the questions that I thought you would, so it was a surprise. I'm going to start with the Instagram ones. If you are interested, you can follow me at redheadmare, and you can leave more questions down below if you like. If you would like the backstory on how I started dating and why I was dating and how I went about it, I will link that first video down below because that would be a whole like 20-minute intro and you can just go watch that video. But getting to today's questions, these are in no particular order. I'm not going to say the names because some of the questions are quite personal. Okay, I need my coffee. I got my free Starbucks holiday cup today and we need it. I will say there's no like easy questions. Okay, we're just gonna start on Instagram and we're just gonna go with it. First question is, how do I get a good man to take me on a date? I get not good ones usually, LOL. Well, I think unfortunately you need to date a lot of not good ones to realize what you're looking for. I got a really good piece of advice from a friend of mine who she was starting to date after she had been divorced, and she said basically like she said yes to almost everybody, and then every date she went on she came back and was like, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I'm not looking for, and started to weed out what maybe she thought she wanted and she didn't want. So I would say don't go on dates with people that you know you're not compatible with, but if you think you are, try, and then if it turns out that you're not, like do some self-reflection and think like, okay, this was actually something that I thought I wanted and I didn't, and you'll slowly start to hone in on what your list is or what you're looking for. I did that, and some of the stuff that I thought was super important ended up not being, and then stuff that I maybe hadn't really thought of became like non-negotiables for me. So I hope that that helps. How to put my walls down and be open to a healthy relationship. Oh my goodness. Okay. I would say walls can be positive, especially at the beginning. It's good to have some boundaries and it's good to have standards. I would say not to have expectations, but to know like, again, what you're looking for and what's a non-negotiable for you. If you're finding that you're putting up too many boundaries and it's like making it so you can't have a healthy relationship, I would suggest maybe not dating for a bit and really trying to find yourself. So for me, I spent the first year after I became a widow just doing a lot of self-reflection and journaling and therapy and yoga and meditating and really finding myself, because say you got married young and now you're divorced and you're starting to date again. Like for me, I met Jeremy when I was like 22, I think. So then when I became a widow at 33, it was like, I am not that same person. I didn't know what I was looking for. What was important to me in my 20s was definitely not important anymore, and that sort of thing. So I think if you are finding yourself setting some boundaries, maybe you're just not ready to date, and that's okay. None of this is me saying that you have to date. You want to be single for your whole life? Self high five, you do you. You want to date around and you don't want to settle down? Again, self high five, you do you. This is just what worked for me. I knew I wanted a partner. I knew I wanted to get married again. And so that's why I went into it like very purposefully and seriously. But if you're having a hard time and you're still setting up a lot of boundaries, perhaps do some self-reflection and some self-work. And then I will say that, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months into our relationship with the unicorn, I was definitely setting up some boundaries, and he was just like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, you know, and so I had to work through those. You know, you want to protect yourself. If you've been hurt before, you don't want to be hurt again, and that's totally understandable. And hopefully you'll meet someone who is patient. Thank you for being patient. Did you have any negative reactions from close friends or family or Jeremy's family? No, honestly, everyone has liked him. Everyone has liked him quickly, and I've been like, wait a second, I'm still deciding. I'm still choosing. And no, Jeremy's family was like, they were the first people to tell me to date. They were like, we hope you find someone. We hope that you find happiness. We want the best for you. Like, they have been so supportive. So no, I'm very lucky. I'd like to know how long it took the unicorn to meet Thomas, and how did that go? A lot of you asked about Thomas. So we had been dating for 3 months. Yeah, 3 months before he met Thomas. And for me, it was like, I was totally uninterested in Thomas meeting him at the beginning, because I was like, if this doesn't pan out, there's no point. But then it got to a place where I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying myself. I'm having a lot of fun, but is this just fun? Or will he get along with Thomas? And because my son Thomas, again, if you're new here, he has special needs, I was like, okay, well, if he's not comfortable with any of Thomas's stuff, then that'll make this super easy, and that'll make this, like, you know, we'll just say thank you for the fun and continue on. Yeah, and how did it go? Well, I have never seen Thomas take to anybody the way he took to the unicorn, to the point where I was like, whoa, Thomas, like, ease into it, like, let him dangle a little bit. Even my girlfriends were like, what's happening here? Like, I've never seen Thomas behave this way. So that was good, but then it also totally freaked me out, and I reined it in again. I was like, okay, I need to process this. There's been a lot of like dating the unicorn. Mare has to retreat to process what's happening, and he's super patient. And then, you know, we continue on, and she figures out what's going on. Luckily, he's very patient and very communicative. But yeah, it was great with Thomas, but it also, because it was so great, freaked me out. What's the one thing that surprised you about dating again? Well, I will say I'm surprised by how much time I have. Like, I thought my life was busy before I met him, but this was something that was important to me, so it's really taught me time management and how to still get as much done in a day, if not more. Like, I wrote the majority of this book while dating him. Yeah, I think I've been surprised at how much time I can make for something when it's important to me. What else has been surprising? I didn't expect to meet someone so quickly. That's been surprising, I would say. Yeah. How are you doing mentally with dating? Well, again, like, definitely I've had to like process stuff, and he calls it like cat in a bathtub. I mean, he's kind of been the same way in some sort of, like, in some aspects. Yeah, it has been a lot, for sure. When I have gone to therapy a couple of times, like, for nothing bad, just trying to process, like, these are big emotions and this is a lot. I definitely didn't expect to meet someone so quickly. Not that it was like quick, you know, like, I had been a widow for a year, and then I had been dating for about 7 months when we met. But yeah, mentally, I think I've just been super kind to myself and had to take a lot of time with it and been patient and not rushed anything, and so that's helped. But it gets overwhelming for sure, because like I said, I already had such a robust, full life and a lot going on, and grief as well. And then to have this like whirlwind of a romance happening, while it's been wonderful, it's also been just like a lot to process. So my mental health is great, But yeah, I've gone to therapy a couple of times to check in with my therapist, and luckily the unicorn is very patient and allows me to process stuff, and we talk things out a lot, so that's been helpful. Is it okay if I never date again? My husband died 9 months ago. I hope to find my joy, but keep him close. 100%. Like I said, you do you, whatever works for you. If you are happier living your life single and, you know, living out whatever plans the two of you had together and doing what's best for you, absolutely. But if you get to a point, you know, in 5 years where suddenly you want to meet someone, that's okay too. It's only been 9 months. You don't have to decide now. Even if it's been 5 years, 10 years, you don't have to decide. Like, whatever feels best for you. Has Thomas spent much time with him yet? If so, have you noticed changes in behaviors? Yeah, they've spent a lot of time together, but I haven't noticed any changes in his behavior. I mean, Thomas has just been doing really well. Like, he's just been thriving, and no, he's good. Have you experienced feelings of guilt being in a new relationship? Absolutely. Yeah, that was another thing that I had to process, was like, initially when like people asked me why I wasn't public about it for so long, it's because I was worried. Like, I was worried that people would judge me, or I was worried that people were thinking that I was being disrespectful to Jer, or like so many feelings of guilt and worry. And also, like, there's so much guilt with, okay, well, I'm dating, but if they want to date me, then they also are basically dating Thomas, and they're dating my career, and I'm dating their career, and if they have kids. So there's just a lot. Yeah, I've definitely felt guilt. And something that my therapist told me really early on that has helped me is that you can have two emotions that can be true simultaneously. So you can be sad and grieving, and you can also be experiencing joy and love and happiness. And I think that that's really important to know, that those two things can coexist. So I can have a really bad grief day, and just like it can hit me and I can be crying. But then a week later, I can be having so much joy that I haven't experienced in forever, if ever. So it's okay to have that juxtaposition of emotions, but to just be kind to yourself. So like, to feel the guilt, but also to know that like that's okay, and you know, I deserve to be happy, Thomas deserves to be happy, and I have everybody's blessing to be happy. So yeah, I definitely have, for sure. That was just the Instagram questions. BT dubs, that is why this is gonna be 2 videos. This could be like a whole series. My legs are falling asleep. Okay, now we're gonna go to Facebook and the previous YouTube video. I'm just gonna watch the time on this one, and then I'll cut it halfway through, basically. Okay. Can you give a little more information on how you broach the mental health question? How do you handle that topic sensitively but get the info you needed? I said this in my previous dating video, that for me it was really important to ask how someone was taking care of their mental health, if they've had any mental health history, and like had they been to therapy, and be like super open and honest about that from the get-go. How did I broach the question? I literally just asked. I was like, so do you go to therapy? How's your mental health? And this was like within
quickly,
like a week?
Yes.
Like the first week of us texting on Bumble, like before we'd even met in person, because mental health is obviously something that is very important to me, and I definitely have some boundaries with dating someone who, you know, refuses to acknowledge mental health stuff, or refuses to go to therapy or talk about it and just wants to like suppress it. Like, I was not interested in any of that. So I don't think I was sensitive. No, I was just blatant because it was important to me. And if I also knew that like I was interested in dating someone that was open and communicative and wanted to talk about stuff. So if that question had freaked them out, that was just good for me to know, because we talk about mental health in this house. So yeah, I wasn't sensitive. I wasn't rude, but I wasn't like
direct.
I was direct. Thank you. He's here just in case, you know, little peanut gallery. How long will you keep the unicorn out of videos? Does he ask for that privacy? He's never asked for it. He's just like super not interested in being videos. He's a pretty private person. He's camera shy. He's like happy to film. He's happy to be around me filming, like he's sitting here right now, but he's just like, just not interested in it. So, I mean, if you've been to a marathoner event in the last 6 months, you've met him. If you've seen me out in public and we've been together, I'll always introduce you. Like he's chatted up a ton of marathoners. At the marathoner meetup masterclass in Vancouver, he got a ride in a marathoner's van. Thank you, Kaylin. So, you know. When did you know it was safe to announce your relationship publicly? What signs made you sure? I don't know when I knew it was like safe. I just was ready. So so we met at the beginning of January. At the end of March, I posted like a kind of cryptic photo on Instagram. Basically just like, she's dating, she's not available, because I kind of wanted to kibosh messages and stuff. And then on my birthday, I posted a photo of us, you know, and oh, it was also in a vlog in March that I told you I'd met him. So it just, what felt good, you know, that's all. When do we get to meet him? Come to a meetup. There's a good chance he'll be there. Okay, I'm going to end this video here, and I'm just gonna turn off the camera, restart it again for the next video. So thanks for watching part 2 of your dating questions. This video is coming out Sunday. The next one will be out on Tuesday. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your questions. If you have more, maybe wait and watch the video that comes out on Tuesday. And then if you still have more questions, I'm happy to talk about dating. It's hard dating in your 30s, your 40s, like dating later in life. I get that. So I'm here for you. I'm gonna answer the rest of these in the next one. So thanks for watching. Lace up, subscribe, become a marathoner, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.